All right, call roll, please.
Miss Bradley?
Yes.
Miss Clodfelter?
Here.
Miss Nyworth?
Here.
Miss Edwards?
Here.
Mr. Jester?
Here.
Colonel King?
Okay, I'll turn the board meeting over to you, Dr. Thomas.
Thank you. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Awesome.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. Miss Edwards is participating via telephone as posted in our agenda. And our first action item 4 and 5 have to do with distance meetings, new regulations that were passed by the state March 13th to allow us to participate in video conferences and teleconferences. And we have agenda item 4 is a policy that permits that. Agenda item 5 is a draft of the regulations that govern how we do that. We did follow these regulations in the posting of this meeting, and we would ask your approval of BEE and BER2 retroactively to March 13th.
So moved. Second.
Call roll, please.
Who was the second? Miss Bradley?
Yes.
Miss Clodfelter?
Yes.
Miss Nyworth?
Yes.
Miss Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 6 is a proposed resolution changing the last day of school and also permitting pay for employees. And before we dive into that resolution, I would like to read a statement, if you would permit me. And first, let me say that we understand that our staff, students, and parents are under tremendous stress brought on by the school closure necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic. We want all of you to know that the safety of our staff, students, and families are our highest priority during these trying times, and we are making decisions with this in mind. We are in contact with health officials on a daily basis and are following CDC guidelines in our operations. I want to express my sincerest thanks to all the employees who have been performing essential duties during this period of closure. Many staff, from groundskeepers through executive directors, have kept our district operating. We have continued to pay bills, prepare payroll, prepare and deliver meals, and maintain our facilities, and we will continue to need to do so. The virus will not make the grass stop growing or keep children from getting hungry. Your work is essential to the health and well-being of our community. To any parents that may be watching this meeting, we are presently serving 6,000 grab-and-go meals on a daily basis. The procedures we are following to prepare and deliver these meals are considered low risk as defined by health officials. If you are not participating in this service and wish to begin, please see our FAQ page on our website about delivery sites. The only requirement to participate in the meal program is that your child be under 18 or 18. Your child doesn't even need to be an LPS student to participate. Students over 18 that are still enrolled in school are also eligible. We have the capacity to deliver more meals, and if you need that service, please avail yourself of it. Since the state board ordered the closure of schools, many of our staff have worked almost around the clock preparing for the next phase of the closure, distance learning, as required by the state board. With regard to learning activities that will begin Monday, April 6th, next Monday, let me assure parents that we will be providing learning opportunities for your students in many ways. You will not need to have computers or internet in your home for your student to participate in our distance learning activities. Parents, I strongly encourage you to ensure that your student engages with us in our distance learning activities. When school resumes in our normal fashion, hopefully in August, we want all students to be ready to learn and progress. Without this engagement, your student may fall behind others and require significant remediation next year. For our instructors, we know that delivering instruction remotely will be challenging, but we all know it is the right thing to do to keep the summer slide to a minimum. Keeping students engaged with meaningful instruction is our only option at this point, and we appreciate your willingness to make this as meaningful as possible. With regard to the resolution that we're asking the board to approve, we want our staff to know that once approved, if you have been receiving a paycheck from LPS, you will continue to receive a paycheck for the remainder of your contract. This includes teachers, administrators, and support staff. The work we need you to do may be different than in the past as necessitated by our distance learning plan, but you will continue to be paid. The only exception to this would be our day-to-day substitute teachers. Without regular school, we simply won't need day-to-day subs. We value the work you have performed for the district, and I am sorry that we simply cannot legally pay for work not performed. I want you all to know that we're all in this together, and that when we return to schooling practices, we all know, hopefully, we will all be stronger from this experience. Thank you for your continued support and trust in our district. With regard to the resolution, item 6. I'll read this resolution for those that have not been able to download this from the website. This is the resolution to change the school calendar and ensure employee pay. Whereas Wednesday, March 11th, 2020, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic after the virus spread to more than 100 countries worldwide. And whereas Friday, March 13th, the President of the United States declared a national emergency due to the coronavirus COVID-19 global pandemic. And whereas Friday, March 13th, the Governor of the state of Oklahoma declared an emergency for all 77 counties in Oklahoma over COVID-19 concerns. And whereas Wednesday, March 25th, the Oklahoma State Board of Education voted to keep Oklahoma school buildings closed and implement distance learning plans for the remainder of the school year due to COVID-19. And whereas, due to the above, Lawton Public Schools is moving the last day of school from the previously scheduled May 21st to May 8th. May 8th will be our last day of school if this resolution is approved. Whereas the Lawton Public Schools Board of Education and Administration are committed to ensuring that closing schools early will not result in a financial burden to any district employees. Therefore, be it resolved that despite the change to the last day of classes for students, the Lawton Public Schools Board of Education directs the superintendent of Lawton Public Schools to grant any support staff, teachers, administrators, and professional technical employees paid emergency leave necessary to allow such employees to be paid throughout the duration of their original 2019-2020 contracts. Adopted and approved this first day of April 2020. And we would need a motion on that, please.
Motion.
I move for approval.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on that. What about, what does this mean for our Title I tutors who are under contract up to so many hours and those sorts?
We'll be asking them to do different types of work, man the helplines. Our distance learning plan will involve core instruction, so we'll be asking elective instructors and tutors and other people paid to assist in instruction to perform different tasks than they have before.
Good.
These will be stay-at-home work tasks. Only essential employees will be in the building, and that wouldn't be essential. It's essential we deliver continuous learning, but they can do it from home. So we will continue to pay, but we will have different job assignments for folks. Those that have COVID emergencies, there are special COVID leave available that they can avail themselves of.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay.
So that resolution has passed. Agenda item 7 is an action item also. It's another resolution. The whereases are all the same, so I'll jump to the therefore it be resolved that despite the change to the last day of classes, that's the wrong one. Just read that one. Be it resolved, the Board of Education grants the superintendent the following temporary emergency powers to address COVID-19 emergency. Authority to temporarily waive such board policies or provisions of board policies as the superintendent shall deem necessary to comply with guidance from appropriate health or governmental authorities or necessary for other effective response, provided such action is consistent with all applicable state and federal laws. The authority to take lawful actions necessary to ensure the continuation of public education, to provide for the health and safety of students and employees, or to respond to direction from appropriate health and government authorities. Such actions may include, but are not limited to, adjustments to the curriculum and the provision of alternative education program options, adjustments to work schedules and assignments, modifications to the school calendar, adjustments to the delivery of school-provided meals, limitations on access to property owned or controlled by the Board of Education, applying any governmental body for financial aid or other aid as may be available, applying the government body for waiver of regulations or requirements compliance with which is affected by COVID-19 emergency, provided such action is consistent with all applicable and state federal laws. Authority to enter contracts without prior board approval for any dollar amount necessary to purchase materials, equipment, supplies, or services for sanitation, cleaning, technology, or other needs directly related to COVID-19 emergency situation, provided such action is consistent with all applicable state and federal laws. Now, be it therefore resolved that the superintendent is directed to keep the Board of Education informed of actions taken under this emergency authority as soon as practical in light of the circumstances. Now be it therefore resolved that the temporary powers authorized by this resolution are in effect for the duration identified in the governor's orders 2020-07 of March 15, 2020, and any subsequent extension of that order unless otherwise rescinded or extended by the board upon a majority vote. Now be it therefore resolved, the execution of the resolution is conclusive evidence of the board's approval of this action and authority granted herein. I will say at this time, this resolution was recommended by the State School Boards Association.
All right. My discussion on this is we're in kind of a unique situation with we have an interim superintendent and we're going to have a brand new superintendent. So I propose that to y'all, that we go ahead and approve this all the way through his term, and then we just go ahead and when we have a new superintendent, we'll sign this agreement with him. We don't know what our superintendent wants to do. He may not agree with this. We need to give him the opportunity to go with it too and have that discussion.
Well, I think he's doing the same thing in his own district.
Well, I
And
mean,
this follows the
but
governor's,
that's not, yeah,
it follows the governor's
I understand.
timetable, so there is an end on it.
There is an end, but we don't know when that end is.
Well, I think we need to move forward as
Initially
written.
March 15th, and then if these emergency things are extended beyond,
Through the whole
I'm fine the
pandemic.
way it is.
you know.
I like doing it through Dr. Thomas's tenure here. And then we'll re-look at this. We may not need that.
Well, it'll go away when the governor's order goes away. That's
Well.
what it said.
That's fine, but I would like to do it through the end.
I would like to be able to talk to our superintendent we have, I just would like to do that with him. It's up to you.
I personally have no concerns with how it is right now. I think it's fine either way, through Dr. Thomas's tenure or encompassing Mr. Heim as well, either way.
I'll make a motion that we approve it as written.
Second.
Call roll.
Ms. Bradley?
No.
Ms. Klopfelter?
No.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Thank you. The resolution is passed as approved. Agenda item 8 is an action item. As you know, we have been discussing for several months a non-renewal of our Sodexo maintenance contract. And we've been discussing that with Sodexo and had been working toward a June 30 non-renewal. When this pandemic caused us to close schools, we continued to work with Sodexo, and they have graciously provided us the opportunity to terminate the contract as of midnight tonight. So we would like to take that opportunity. Mr. Gibbs has provided you our estimated cost for terminating that. Terminating tonight will save us $300,000 for the remainder of the year, money that we will desperately need to make it through this closure. So I would recommend that you approve termination or early non-renewal of our contract at midnight tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Call roll.
Ms. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Thank you. That brings us the need to have action item 9 and 10. Action item 9, last month we hired Mr. Jack Hanna to be our Director of Operations. With the departure of John Shirley with Sodexo, we need to expand Mr. Hanna's role to include not only grounds, but maintenance and transportation oversight. And to do that, we'd like to appoint him as an Executive Director of Operations for the district.
Move for approval.
Second.
Call roll.
Was that Patty?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10, also in relation to the Sodexo contract, Don McKeag had been our employee prior to the contract being awarded to Sodexo. He was asked to go to Sodexo at that time. At this time, we need to bring him back into our employment as our Director of Maintenance, and I would ask your approval of that.
I'm personally very excited that this has got to happen.
He knows more about our buildings than he
Yeah.
does. Move for approval.
Second.
Call roll.
Ms. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Thank you. As far as other announcements, our next regularly scheduled board meeting is April 16th at 5 o'clock, and we will strive to do more distance on that one. As COVID exposure becomes more and more critical, we need to limit our personal interactions and our personal space. And so we'll try to get all of those that are comfortable set up for distance next month.
Do we know what program we'll be using? Are we using the OSSA big meeting? They have virtual meeting.
We're gonna work toward using their virtual
Okay.
meeting, since we already use the
Yeah,
OSSBA
it'd be just like
Assemble.
logging into your agenda. We've been doing it for
Right.
virtual meetings with the OSSCA board, and it's
Mm-hmm.
worked really well.
I can't never get on at 5 because I don't remember. Well, I'm like, I was working right through that time.
Yeah.
And I have no other announcements at this point.
I would like to have, on the board announcements, a couple things. One, I would like to say thank you to all of our teachers. I have had the pleasure of listening to parents in where I work and also in my home. The teachers that are calling these parents and speaking to them are doing a fabulous job. They're answering their questions. The parents are not confused. They're excited. And I just can't say enough about them. I'm really pleased with how they're handling this and how they're responding to the parents. And then secondly, I think congratulations to Lynn. That's a pretty big award that she's gotten, you know, so I hopefully at some point we'll get to have an award, a celebration for her. That was pretty
Another cake.
Oh, boy. All right. No, that's all I have.
It's Kinster.
No, I did my last one already.
Oh, well, move for adjournment.
I'll second.
Call roll.
Ms. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Also, I had another thing for you.
Thank you.
As you're aware of